Listen, Dad, I hate to tell you this, but the lawsuit is pending against Bradley down in Houston. We're waiting to serve him with the process papers. The service processor can't locate him at his job at Children's Houston's Hospital. But I want to thank you all for coming to my friend, the trash bag. He's changing into a beautiful phoenix. We're converting this room into a John Kitover fundraiser. I can't thank you all enough for coming. Free Israel from the Hamas terrorist threat now. Liberate the hostages and destroy Hamas now. So future generations of Israelis won't have to live under the threat of Islamic terrorism from the Gaza Strip. Thank you all for coming. You terrorist supporting low IQ losers. You've wasted years of your lives on this app. I've created 30,000 videos of you schmucks promoting terrorism, supporting terrorism. We've notified the FBI a total of 10 times. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino know about Clubhouse, they know about you, and they are tracking you. For one day soon, that search warrant is going to get issued, and your front door is going to get kicked in, and when they push it in, you're going to jump on Clubhouse and say, John Kitover was right. They were tracking us, and they have been listening to our terrorist promotion and terrorist supporter rooms. Fuck John Kitover, he got me arrested and now I'm getting deported or I'm being put in jail for 25 years for domestic terrorism, all because of candidate Congressman John. Thanks for coming, everybody. This is Jews Against Genocide, organized by our good friend, my friend, and Daniel. Thank you all for being here. God bless you all. I know some of you aren't enthusiastic about our campaign to get into the 16th district in Congress. But I want to let you know, it's losers like you, the terrorist-supporting cocksuckers, who are your own worst enemy. Yeah, that's you. If you support terrorism and you support violence, you are your own worst enemy. You don't support justice. You don't support the law. You only support your grandiosity, your opinions, your lies, and your propaganda. You are the true schmucks and low IQ small schmeckle people we like to talk about. There are autistic Down syndrome facilities we could place you in if you're willing to let go of your terrorist promotion. But if you won't let go of terrorist promotion, we will just push it in, kick your door down, drag you out in cuffs and beat you over the head with a billy club, mace you, and maybe use stun grenades on entry. Thanks for being here. This is the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover. Go to johnforcongress.com right now. I'm updating the link to our donation page. If you love listening to the roast of terrorist promoters here on Clubhouse, consider giving the campaign $1. Just $1 like the Rebbe. That's okay. Menachem Schneerson was a great guy. Only $1 is needed because you know why? It's the thought, the intention behind it. Thank you all so much for coming. We can't thank you enough. Wasting all your time on Clubhouse. Non-stop free Palestine! I don't support Hamas. I don't support Hamas. I only completely support Hamas. That's what you like to say. I don't support Hamas, but the Israelis, they're not entitled to security. They can't take over a bunch of terrorist territory to protect themselves. They gotta play by the international rules of law. And Netanyahu is a terrorist himself. When does it end? Oh, you know when it ends? When every single Hamasnik terrorist's head is literally disintegrated in the ground and they're being buried and the Israeli Jewish hostages are free and back home. That's when it ends, ladies and gentlemen. The poll's been updated with a campaign donation link. We're turning this into a fundraiser. Do you want to come to Chicago or not, Zach? We need you. No, I know. I'm writing you my thoughts. So welcome back to the campaign to elect John Kitover.
We can talk about that another time, but do you still need help or no?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to do fundraising here. I mean, you can keep coming to Clubhouse like these loser strokers who keep coming here and wasting all their time generating nothing, doing nothing.
Money's not for his campaign, it's for his market. So everyone please donate immediately.
No, keep working, but you know, we need to fundraise to get you here. We've exhausted our funds so far.
When are you going to start talking about the problems people deal with in District 6 or Peoria?
It's District 16, schmuck.
Yeah, I'm sure you're begging for money. You're begging for pennies. Also, you can scream and spend your time on cut cows and still miss your mortgage payment. I think that's a joke, and it's laughable, and that's why you can't even make it on the ballot.
Why are you being so mean?
I support Darren Hood. That's why, because this guy wants to jail his political opponents and have the FBI raid their homes. I mean, he's a lunatic, and that's very un-American. And that's why, again, he'll never make it on the ballot.
Listen, you slimy little piece of dog shit. You're a terrorist supporter, terrorist promoter. And as soon as the FBI or Department of Homeland Security kicks your front fucking door in and drags your terrorist supporting ass out in cuffs and beats you over the head with billy clubs and you're screaming, oh, give me my phone, I gotta get on Clubhouse and let everybody know that candidate John got the FBI to kick my door in. Oh, that's why they're going to kick your door in, Jack, because you're a terrorist promoting, terrorist supporter, Jack. We got you on record. You, Mikhail, Edward, Amir are all going to have your shit pushed in by the end of September. It's coming. The FBI knows who you are, motherfucker. And they're about to kick your fucking front door in, Jack. I know you're on the run now, but you better look out, Jack. The FBI is coming for you, Jack. For you.
I'm actually putting in any work. You collect your donations on Clubhouse and you're trying to pay people to collect signatures for you instead of doing the job yourself. You spent time on live stream and tried to pay people to do your job and it didn't work. And you didn't get the signatures and you're not on the ballot. And now you're crashing out, which I get it. But try to...
I don't like your tone of voice. You can come back on the stage. I'm going to ask you to speak in a kind tone of voice and stop being antagonistic. You can join my stage, but I will not allow antagonism. So please welcome back. I'm going to invite you to the stage and I'm going to move you.
Okay, that's fair. You didn't throw him down with the one in my home, but John,
I didn't know that the FBI raided.
They didn't, but that's what he wants. But anyways, John, curious question for someone who lives in
Well,
Chicago.
you started it.
Why not do the work yourself instead of paying people? Why not go door to door? It's a genuine question.
Well, that's an ignorant question.
Why is that ignorant? I've done it for campaigns.
And how many signatures did you collect every day?
I helped Denise Barnes get elected in Anaheim,
And how
California.
many signatures did you collect every day?
Enough to get on the ballot and win.
So how many did you collect?
Thousands.
Huh?
Thousands.
You collected thousands every day?
No, thousands every
How many
day.
did
Probably
you personally collect?
a day?
Yes, per day. How many
I
did
would
you
say about 50 a day.
door knocking?
Door knocking, getting doors slammed in your face, getting chewed out, talking to old people. People want
And
to talk to anyone forever.
Were you paid for your
Not
time?
paid a dime. This was an internship. This was free labor. And
Well,
old people could talk your
how old were you at the time? How old were you at the time when you did this?
Oh my God, so many questions. I was 23, 24, 23,
Well,
23 years old.
Well, when you get a little bit older, you
here
can't
we
do
go.
stuff for free anymore. So a lot of these signature
Not
collections.
for free. My friend,
Oh, why
this is
you're
not for free.
interrupting me? I can go back on mute, but all I'm going to say is that most of the signature collection campaigns in America today are compensation for the collectors.
John, have you ever gone door to...
Listen, you tiny dick, little faggot, terrorist supporting piece of shit. I'm about to blow the shofar up your ass. Here we go. Rabbano Shalom. This is for you, you tiny dick, little terrorist supporting faggot.
All right. points just to keep it consistent. John, please do that. Please don't be antagonistic.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it would serve you well. Let your constituents get to know you are.
Let them get to know that I report terrorist, cocksucking, faggot promoters like you, Jack. The FBI is gonna push your fucking door in with Amir and Edward and Mikhail. It's coming, Jack. I don't need to talk to you about my campaign. You need to lawyer up before the FBI kicks your fucking door in and says, "Stop what you're doing! Put your hands in the air! It's the FBI!" Jack, that's what they're gonna say when they push your fucking front door in, you terrorist supporting, tiny dick little faggot.
We have freedom of speech in this country. I've never supported any terrorism materially or through speech, but regardless of your slander and defamation, which is fine, it's okay, it's expected actually, we'll continue spreading.
It's not slander and defamation. It's recordings of you promoting terrorism, supporting terrorism, being a domestic terrorist, Jack. It's all on YouTube, live stream from phone to phone. YouTube to Clubhouse, starring you, starring Mikhail, starring Amir, starring Edward. The FBI, Jack. That's what they say when they kick your door and they say, hands up! It's the FBI, Jack. That's what you're going to hear before you get wonked over the head with a billy club and the handcuffs get put on and they drag you out by your fucking hair, Jack. It's not polite. They drag you out by your fucking hair. And you're going to be screaming, "Wait, pass me my phone, quick, I got to get on Clubhouse. I got to get on the app and let everybody know what candidate John did to us. He recorded us for years promoting terrorism. He recorded us for years supporting terrorism."
Bartholomew's, oh, he left. Bartholomew's, please vote, he's gone.
We should do a poll if we think John's gonna win. I want to see how many people are deluded.
Let's just do a poll to see if John gets on the ballot. Because that's the real win here, Jack. I hate to tell it to you. Just getting on the ballot is the challenge. I've been through ballot challenges, signature petition challenges. Jack, all you've done in years is come on this app and run your worthless little terrorist supporting, terrorist promoting mouth. Jack, you've accomplished nothing. I'm in a race to defeat a sitting congressman. Who the fuck are you, you little terrorist supporting, terrorist promote? Oh, I know who you are. You're that guy who the FBI is about to kick and push his shit in. And when they kick your door in, Jack, they say, "Hands up! FBI!" Just remember that saying, Jack. They're about to push your shit in with Amir, Edward, Mikhail. They're about to kick your door in, Jack.
What else did they say, John?
They say, "Hands up! FBI! Hands to the sky, or we'll shoot, you little terrorist promoter, terrorist supporter." It's coming, Jack. You're not allowed to do what you're doing. You are supporting and promoting terrorist activities, Jack. You, Edward, Mikhail, Amir, you're all about to have your shit pushed in. And they're going to drag you out by your fucking hair, and you're going to be screaming, "Somebody quick, turn on Clubhouse and record the audio from this arrest. Quick, I want everybody to know it was candidate John that got me arrested."
You try to silence and arrest your political opposition, that's great, that's fine. But we have freedom of speech in this country, buddy. We have a Bill of Rights, the Constitution, something you should learn if you're ever planning to be in this great country's office.
Sorry, friend, we protect against enemies domestic. We've sworn an oath to the Constitution, unlike you, you dirty terrorist supporting promoter. Here we go.
She's the head of the EU, whatever. So she writes, "We must set up a Palestine donor group because any future Palestinian state must be viable also from an economic point of view. And we Europeans will set up a dedicated instrument for Gaza reconstruction. Gaza must be rebuilt.
I want to hear from Ash. She ran the other day when I asked her, give me 5 examples on how Donald Trump is ruining North America. She ran.
She's here now.
Ira?
No, his last name's Ash. Ash.
Wait, Daniel, who was it who tweeted that? Sorry. I missed that.
Ursula von der Leyen. You know who that is?
Yeah. Wait, is she the lady who leads the
She's the EU Commission president.
Yeah, so I've heard of this. So this has to do something with Donald Trump's latest proposal. That this is kind of like the beginning stages he proposed to the Arab states and Pakistan and.
The Donald Trump proposal? My name is Jack. I live in a delusion.
Of the Arab, there was also an Arab conference that they have like the Gaza after, and it's kind of like the same idea basically.
Essentially, yeah. It's basically saying like, disarm Hamas, kick them out. Basically, there will be no Hamas in Gaza.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Point one. Who's doing this? Because I now read also that Macron wants to international force to disarm Hamas, which I think is amazing. Like loving it. I don't see this is happening. Like now, like French people and British people will now go into Gaza and fight Hamas. I really don't see those.
Daniel, I believe, if I'm not wrong, I believe Hamas actually said, in terms of not being part of any future governance, they said that they would agree to that as long as a Palestinian independent technocrat.
We're talking about two different things.
And then, wait, let me finish. And then the disarmament, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they said they would even leave. I could be wrong about that.
The leaders, no, some of the leaders did say that they are willing to basically, they have no problem with exile. At least some of them. At least like the one that is, I forgot his name, the one that was head of the Gaza division, the one that is now the head of the Hamas in Gaza because all the others are dead. The bald guy, if you know what it would have. So he basically said that he's willing to exile. I don't know about everybody. And again, you know, if the resistance stays and someone else takes over and those people just kind of escape judgment from their own people, then it doesn't help. You need to kind of disarm and take the infrastructure.
The Indonesians, because they're asking for governments to send some international force along potentially with a PA, but definitely international force. And I think the Indonesians said they would send troops to kind of take care of this, help secure Gaza, like in terms of security and, you know, for both security for Israel and the Palestinians. And I think overall, if this does go through, right, like this is just a proposal. If it does go through, I honestly believe Hamas kind of won in so many ways here. Like
They won the genocide.
I'm interested to know how did they win.
Yeah, so like it would.
He's trying to positively reframe a loser's position where everyone's been obliterated and the entire way of life has been completely destroyed.
John, I'm really interested how if Israel achieves all the objectives of the war and Hamas, like how did Hamas win?
Well, basically, Hamas won because in the minds and hearts of billions of people around the world, they have infected them with a mind virus.
They would basically consider it a win because, of course, anytime, you know, and their framing of it is like you're fighting for justice and freedom or whatever you're going to say, there's going to be sacrifice. And they'll say everyone who died, this and Gaza was basically sacrificed for this. And this being that Gaza will be run by a Palestinian governance. People are not ethnically cleansed. And this will never happen in Gaza again. Basically, this war, these tit for tat, basically every year, other year, you know, this launching of rockets from Gaza to Israel destroying parts of Gaza. That kind of battle would kind of, almost done.
No, it's weird, you say? Okay.
Just someone. I'll wrap it up right here. But essentially, the siege of Gaza would basically be over, and people in Gaza going forward, it will be rebuilt for a different life, right?
So
And
you
so
say
that's kind of the win right there.
No, listen.
It would lead to some solution.
I salute you for the flexibility. Okay, the threat was Hamas. Okay, the reason that Gaza was blockaded and got bombed was Hamas. The reason that the war is happening is because Hamas. And then Hamas is removed and the threat is gone, and now Hamas is the winner by basically being removed. I mean, you don't need all this proposal. I mean,
That's the fun.
I really salute you. This could have been achieved any day from 2005 and until, if this will happen, after Gaza will rebuild, I don't know, in a decade or two, at any moment if Hamas will just lay down their arms. But you know, it's a win because we wanted to ethnically cleanse and we wanted to genocide and our plans didn't work out. No, dude, those accusations from day one, you knew that this was not true. Like, it's not true. It was in your ecosystem, and now you are flipping it. You're accused of something that didn't happen, and now you're trying to kind of show it as a win that the thing that you're accused of us didn't manage. While the objective of the war, both of them will be achieved, a total win. Hamas will be defeated, demilitarized and gone, total win. But yeah, you know what?
Well, yeah,
I understand you have like this problem with pride or with reality or with fact, but you know what?
Clarification.
This is a win for Hamas. They should have said so. Really, we would have. I would have personally handed out on a silver plate years ago.
Daniel, just a second. Point of clarification. When I say like what I just said, I'm seeing this as a perspective of like what I've been hearing from Hamas supporters and what their end goal was. Some of the things you.
That's you, dummy. You're a Hamas supporter, a terrorist promoter, a terrorist supporter.
Hold on. What I was thinking about. So basically, essentially, those wins, some of those were part of the things that Hamas supporters have been saying would be the end goal of this battle. And in their worldview, of course, they believe Israel, had a grander plan of eventually ethnically cleansing and this war against Zionism versus anti-Zionism. But
what is this, fucking Star Wars or the movie Doom? They're fighting terrorists to the death because they're suicidal terrorists willing to die in the process to prove a point because they're brainwashed and stupid like you, Jack.
that's something I was gonna.
Bev lives pissed off like 5 people in the room that are dumb, yet she's here listening. What does that make you, Bev? What does that make you? You fucking
Who's Bev?
douchebag. Bev and Ash, they're fucking sick, demonic people. Saying that everybody's dumb. Sire's a simp, saying that she's intelligent. She's a great mother. He doesn't even know these fucking people.
Daniel, I was gonna.
You guys who are fighting in the chat, they're so fucking weird.
Hamas is a win, and I said it it will not be a win that could have had, like, there was a problem. And if we achieve our goals, and that it's not a win, but if this is what they want to tell themselves in their made-up world of fact, and enjoy the win, I would have delivered it. This is basically a summary of.
You see, my friend, you can still win in the chat, even though if you can't win in the audio version. There's still communication happening in the chat. And don't forget, everybody, Jack here, Amir, Edward, Mikhail, they're all getting their front doors pushed in by the FBI because they're terrorist promoters, terrorist supporters. And when they push it in, Jack, and they drag you out by your hair, and you're screaming, please, just give me my phone. I want to go on Clubhouse to document my arrest. Go ahead, Jack. Just scream it out when you get that chance. Thanks, everybody.
Everything but just here, man.
Who cares?
It's just weird to me. It's weird that there's
Like,
like
don't
this
ruin the
fat
stage.
loser here.
Conversation on stage.
Yeah, are you fat?
The conversation, are you new to Clubhouse? It's a waste of time.
I have her phone number and her picture. And Ash.
Maybe we will unite. Either we will go to the chat or we bring the chat here. But this is a bit like the people in the
I
chat.
suggest turn off the chat.
I suggest continuing to discuss the chat on stage. That's what I suggest.
I suggest we do a poll.
We have a poll. We have a poll going. Vote in the poll.
Listen, they recently gave a poll to over 1.2 million Palestinians, and they said, would you rather see Hamas defeated and in exile and obliterated from your lives forever? Or would you continue that they want to fight the war to the death? 99.9% of Palestinians said, Hamas,
But not Jack.
I'd like to invite Bev to the stage. Page Bev B. User has already been invited to this room.
She won't come. Neither will Ash. They won't
It's
come.
very weird behavior. Why would you? Why
Because
is
they're
that even on
fans. They're
Clubhouse?
losers.
What is the point? Ash has gone.
Yeah. Not.
I also want to say APAC just upped their donation from 10,000 to 30,000. Thanks, Dr. Schwartzman.
Zionist.
Thanks, Dr. Schwartzman.
I'm literally begging her to join the stage. I'm begging her to join the stage. Please join the stage.
Who I will also invite so she doesn't feel like she's who is that?
Yeah, make me a mod.
She
Let
said
me invite
she's
her
gonna,
too.
yeah, she
Well, I would make you a mod, but you were playing music earlier. It was very
Well, I was trying to shut Jack up while the infomercial was going on about the FBI.
You can play music, but only if it's Bob Marley or Modest Yahoo.
All right.
What about you don't like Shlomo Karabakh? Wait. Shema, let's do the Shema.
It's called Couleur Cafe. Couleur.
My name is Tommy C.
Got it. It's playing right now for a second. All right. So then you can. It goes on too long in a second. You leave it.
There was a man you know.
So just fine. Oh, pop that.
Palestinian supporters who want to make the case that what Palestinians desire is peace, I think the case can be made. If you're in the chat and you're saying free Palestine all day, you're welcome to join the stage and make the case that all the Palestinians want is peace. And you can try to argue and get me to see the truth, which is that all the Palestinians want is peace. I don't believe that's true, and I think that people who are talking about that are stupid. I think that Bev is a stupid person. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we can just have trolls in the chat and we can just listen to music. But I think it's weird when the trolls in the chat are saying that we don't want them to speak or that we're silencing them or something like that. Grace is always talking about hate, like her people aren't the ones murdering children. So the notion that Israel is murdering children is a lie. The only people who say that are stupid, hateful people.
And
You
Grace
guys
doesn't
do
hate.
silence people.
And Grace
That's
doesn't
a
ever
stupid
use
thing
that
to
word.
say. I think, Bev, you're a stupid idiot.
You've asked her to come on stage like 20 times. How are we silencing
Yeah,
her?
she's saying, but so she's just lying. I mean, these people just lie. I think that it's really important to just say. I just saw a video today of Palestine, and there's children in the streets, full of children in the street, and they're dropping leaflets on the children, warning them, hey, remember, we're having a war against your parents, the Hamas fighters, so be careful. Last time I was here, BB invited me on stage thinking he was going to bully me. He got outsmarted and then I got gulagged. Well, I'm much smarter than BB. No offense. Just joking. But I mean, try it again. Feel free to try it again. BB is a deep person. BB is my friend who is a moderator currently.
See, my friend, I can do this. Zach, don't you know that this debate won't create peace? Only Torah, only Tanya, only pre-programmed wisdom. There's no programming wisdom coming out of these debates. I hate to break the bad news for you. Do you got 60 seconds for Tanya?
Only wisdom creates peace.
You need to do like a Duracell commercial.
This debate won't create peace.
I'm telling you, do you gentlemen have 60 seconds for Tanya? Do you even care about Torah?
You debunk what I said. What did you say? Grace's people are the ones killing children. That's the most recent claim that was made. Like her people aren't the ones murdering children. But Israel isn't murdering children. There's no proof that they are. So it's bunk. What you said is bunk. You just said Israel is murdering children. There's no claim to debunk. It's not true. There's no evidence to support your claim. Therefore, it is bunk. Would you like to make another claim? I'm debating with Bev in the chat. I'm going to finish this cigarette. I'm going to go back and I'm going to have people. Excuse me, would you sign to help John Kitover defeat Darren the Hood? No.
All you gotta say is, sir, do you have 10 seconds to defeat Darren the Hood? This is a congressional petition. They go, give it to me. Did you say Darren the Hood?
Oh, really? All right, well then, maybe you should pay more.
Listen, I don't even know if I might be getting ripped off and scammed at $1.50 a signature. I think people are just sitting there maybe filling out, $15 sheets. I think that,
Proving you were lying. Laugh my ass off.
So she's
There was
watching.
footage over the internet proving you're lying. A lot of the footage is full of lies. There's footage proving that your footage is lies. I could post pictures of three-legged Palestinians. I could post pictures of women with 5, 6 fingers on their hand. A lot of AI pictures, a lot of body bags checking their phones, a lot of body bags moving around, a lot of people who are supposed to be crying and they turn into laughing. These sources trust me, bro, because I'm Jewish. No, I'm not.
Did you see from the beginning of the war one video where you can say dumb lady? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, but I wanted to say, Dev, you're a dumb lady. But yes, from the beginning of the war, what was happening?
Zach, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it. Just kick her from the room. Just don't do that to yourself in the chat, Zach. No, do you gentlemen even have 60 seconds for Torah? I would like to do a tiny meditation.
I don't have the Tanya with me. I have my Rosh Hashanah booklet.
Well, go ahead, give us 60 seconds from the booklet. Please, anything positive or intelligent. You know, I like to think of this as an audiobook, and I've heard yet to hear anything intelligent.
How's that? Achad. Yachad. Together. Weren't your people sterilizing Ethiopian Jewish women
Thank you,
to keep
Daniel.
them from having babies? First of all, that was like 20 years ago, and second of all, no. I think that was debunked as well. Ethiopian Jews being sterilized. You can just Google all this stuff. This is dumb. This is a waste of time.
No one was sterilized.
This is a waste of time.
Like,
You're a dumb lady saying Ethiopian Jews has nothing to do with Free Palestine. So if you want to care about Free Palestine, what are you talking about Ethiopian Jews? When you start talking about Ethiopian Jews, you are simply supporting my theory, which is that Free Palestine simply means fuck Israel. Free Palestine, if you don't care about Palestine, Free Palestine is the same as Allahu Akbar. If you hear somebody saying Free Palestine,
Zach, it's a mind virus. You have to break it with Tanya, something intelligent. You can't just smoke cigarettes and scream out these Free Palestine people are stupid. We know they're stupid. They're not reading anything.
yeah, it's true. Anything else? Sire is in the chat, Free Palestine. So that means fuck Jews. So Sire is a black guy who hates Jews. I guess. That's cool. So cool. What a surprise. A black guy who hates Jews. What a surprise.
no, it's like basically people that need to find other, like, basically a reason why they're failures will use Jews as an excuse for their failures.
Listen, do you gentlemen have 60 seconds for Tanya? Pick a number 1 through 50. This is going to be the last thing I say to the room. Oh, dear God. Here we go. Free Mangione, too, while we're at it. Just another LGBTQ rainbow liquor. Hey, gentlemen, do you have 60 seconds for Toya, Tanya? I'd like to make a positive contribution to the room.
Yeah, free Luigi Mangione. And also, I do invite Bev onto stage. She said she didn't want to debate the other people because she has doesn't have mod powers and is afraid of being good. So she's always failed to go to debate me. First of all, about the Ethiopian Jewish women, they were not sterilized. They were given birth control that was active for 3 to 6 months, and because they're in refugee camps and
Oh, Jesus, gentlemen. I'm sorry, but I take ownership for what I put in my brain. I can't listen to this Free Mangione rainbow liquor anymore. I'd like to read 60 seconds from Tanya. Sorry to interrupt you. You'll have your moment. Can anybody give me a number 1 through 25? And you're going to get 60 seconds of Tanya. Can't stand listening to this rainbow liquor. You want 13? I think I read 13 recently to yak off. This is called internal conflict. The in-betweener is judged by both inclinations, judged by them, not ruled by them. Also, everybody, take the deepest breath of the day while we're at it. The in-betweener listens to the claims of both inclinations and judges between them. When a physical desire arises, the left side of your heart is aroused to pursue it. This is the voice, the inclination toward selfishness. Bring that passion into the right side of your heart, where your intellect responds with the voice of inclination toward selflessness. Most often, the two inclinations are in conflict. So lift the matter to God, who will strengthen the goodness of the right, as our sages teach. Without God's help, the evil inclination could not be overcome. Since everyone has both good and evil inclinations, there is no sense in being judged by them, but only by how you handle them. The in-betweener lifts the competition to God. This is what is meant by the teaching, I set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life that you may live. If the word therefore is a command from God telling us which to choose, then there is in fact no choice at all. Choose life should not be read as a command, but rather as a consequence. Torah and Tanya are saying that if you clearly see that the right side speaks for life and the left side speaks for death, you will naturally choose life. The real choice is not between life and death, but between seeing and not seeing.
Thank you, John. I have to go back to synagogue, but I am going to make you a mod, okay?
Bye-bye. Busted up another room.
Lived in a time where there
You
wasn't
may
the
want to
FBI,
consider
bro.
adding magnesium
America wasn't
L-threonate to your routine.
Unlike other forms of magnesium,
I'll give you $100 right now. Sure. So if you were all on what point specifically? There's a lot of
The package you get from the two Martins?
Let's start with this one.
Listen, happy Rosh Hashanah, everybody. Shavua Tov. Gekachen lichtig in dein Augen and Fush da Reboinoi Shaloiloim. I hope this blast from my shofar helps eliminate the mind virus and the chillism syndicate of loser low IQ people who can't give it up. It's the worst toxic community.
overwhelmingly younger, more female, they're more LGBT coded, they're very focused on immigration, and
Listen, all you LGBTQ Democrats, happy Rosh Hashanah. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
fucking knock on his shoulder, we're gonna quit. And
That is not what happened, Barb. That is
Hello?
not what happened.
Wait, let him finish. Hold on, what do you say?
Sorry, but that's just so.
Okay, so let me to land my plane. The
Hello?
majority of Democratic Party voters are working class. They have working class considerations. Whereas the activists in the party, they're not evil, but the
Just call
activists
her a gypsy, like a-
educated backgrounds. The activists in things like trans surgery, women and girls sports,
An actual physical
open
harm.
borders. I'm not
Or
trying to
unless
be active. I'm not saying the
something
activists
happened on-
are evil, but their values, their morals, their ethics are so totally opposed to the voters that they doom the party to lose the next four elections.
This is a Republican speaking. The shame, Democratic. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's
Y'all
some
did that in real
leftist
time.
derangement syndrome.
Like
So what actually happened in the Eris thing was Eris wanted to go on Rogan. She shifted her entire schedule to go on Rogan.
So that was politically correct. They just kicked me from the room. And they've been doing a lot of the YouTube notifications on me, but they haven't stopped me. And every complaint that they submit, I counter that I own the copyright, the IP, and that these are malicious reports. So, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but more often than not, it's not a problem. And YouTube knows what I'm doing, and just so everybody knows who these people are and what they support and what they're talking about. But we're gonna hop back in. We got a new account. a new private account, and we're going to jump back in. Cord document. What's this over here?
The people, the popular movements, whatever, of the right, they don't go against them. They don't correct them. They don't, if anything, they rile them up. They say, yes, that and more. Trump, I'm going to be your retribution, right? That kind of thing. And then it feels like on the left, they're always trying to moderate people. So, like, I don't know, let's say, like, on the Gaza issue or whatever, it's like, it's a more moderated response. It's like, yes, we hear you, valid, and also, we need to think about this, and there's this consideration, and da da da. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like the right is like, helping them start their fires on their side, and the Democrats are like trying to put out the fires that the left is starting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's a miscalculation on the side of the left because typically we want to leverage fervor on your party, not constantly cool it down. Like, I think Democrats are afraid of their base in a lot of ways because they'll lose good jobs. They'll lose good jobs. That's what happens. Republicans, they don't even care if you assassinate their leaders. They'll be like, yo, we'll just turn it into like a issue to further chin up the base. It'll all be red meat. Like, they don't give a shit because like the thing that they want is like, they have a clear vision of the future. They want an all-white, Christian, heteronormative state. And they are willing to make sacrifices. Democrats are not. They don't with things as they are. They are not a part of the change. They do not have a clear-eyed vision towards a shared goal. And until they're able to articulate one that's agreed upon by the electorate, they will always be able to be taken advantage by any crazy who at least has like a real vision for the future. And that's what Republicans are. They're crazy people that know exactly what they want, which is literally like, by definition, the American way.
Nobody cares how you suck a dick, son. We don't want to have to pay for your pregnancy.
Because we think rich are scary. That's just how we move as a party. It's not working. But we'll see. These midterms, everybody, these midterms are going to be gangbusters. We're going to do it all.
And the thing is that whatever these, popular movements are on the left, there is often like a backlash to them. And the fact that Democrats were maybe trying to be a moderating voice to those movements, they never really get credit for that with the voters, right? Like, the backlash is going to happen against, anyone on the left, whether they were like, protesting for Gaza, or they were the ones that weren't pushing for humanitarian aid to go in, or whatever. Like, they all get painted with a broad brush, like, by the voters, and that backlash comes to all of them. So I don't really see what the win is for Democrats to be this moderating, like, they're already going to suffer the backlash of it anyway, and they also don't get the benefit of, they have tampened down the enthusiasm to vote for them on the left, and they haven't lessened the backlash that they're going to get from everyone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. So I think we think of the Democratic Party as like one big, beautiful. Sorry, I've had that in my mind because Trump has moved away from one big, beautiful bill. Anyways, this is a really big country, and every district or state or whatever that a Democrat represents is not progressive. I think that we're gonna have to better understand that there are places where the Mamdani thing is not gonna work. And somehow, because we talk about elections primarily in a national way, there's no room for like the nuance, right? Like, there's no room for understanding that Marie Gluesenkamp Perez in Washington State is gonna have to do something different than, I don't know, who's super progressive, Pramila Jayapal, you know?
What happened
But
to the
literally, the
right people?
Republicans are doing exactly what you just said you can't do. I think what you're saying makes total sense. Is at a local election, you might have to run it a little bit different. But Annie, these are the 4 or 5 things we're going to stick to. And this is all we're going to talk about. We can't talk about every single thing. Like, honestly, I know multiple people came off mute when Bart was talking, which I'm confused because he was Homer a second ago. But honestly, the things he was talking about were things that people in round circles that I was around, that's what people were talking about. And people were like, man, I'm like, really? You know, I have these value matches up to what the Democratic Party is doing right now. I disagree on this point. So there has to be a point where we look at the fact that what the Republican machine is, they literally are bringing together hardcore racists, and evangelicals who are very similar in that way. But the bottom line is, we have to look at that and go, wait a minute, why is that working? Oh, because at the highest level, they're picking these are the major things we're going to work on. They acted like Project 2025 didn't even exist during the election. And I was in this room screaming that it did exist and that it's coming, and then now they're putting it in place. But truth be told, during the election, they pushed that aside because they wanted to win. At some point, the Democratic Party should be like, okay, let's focus on voters' rights. That's one. Let's focus on education. Let's focus on healthcare. Let's focus on racism. Those 4 should be good. As a party, maybe we should bring up reparations because we're not in agreement. Maybe as a party, we should bring up transports because we're not in agreement. Maybe as a party, we should bring up these things because the party is not in agreement on a lot of things.
And Trump did that. No, so the unifying force, right? The person who is able to make all of these conflicting ideas and ideals cohere to voters, right? Like, and become a point of rallying was the person of Trump. Like, that's why I think we're gonna need a remarkable candidate, and then all of our hopes and dreams get funneled into the candidate, and then they say this is the positive vision for the future of America, and we all buy in, and we live happily ever after in a severely diminished democracy.
So why is Al Gore losing?
The Brooks Brothers riot.
No new taxes. They got united behind the party. Wait, was that no new taxes here?
No new taxes is George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, that
We're lost because Clinton got a dick sucked.
Gore lost because Bush was a more charming candidate, and the Chads in Florida.
It's because the Supreme Court didn't let them keep counting the votes because they're corrupt.
The point I was trying to make was this isn't just starting with Trump. I think Trump has been a perfect piece to fit into this, but I don't think it just started with him. I think that it's looking more like Obama was an anomaly of somebody that was able to pull more of the country together.
I have evidence that Brian is
I don't
correct.
think Obama was an anomaly at all. I don't know why you would say that. Why would Obama be an anomaly?
Because there's nothing else like him anyway.
Was an anomaly.
There's 3 people talking though.
There's no other Barack Obama in the country. Can you name him?
Shapiro. And
It's not bad.
Well, could I respond?
you asked me to name 1, 2, and I did. So if you don't like them, that's just not my problem. But you asked me, and those are my choices. So can you name?
Ain't nobody running out Barack Obama's mouth in his own state.
You know, Lisa, I never interrupted anyone on stage, and I mostly kept my mouth shut. But I think Shapiro would be a terrible candidate because all the people that hate Israel, and there's a lot of people in the Democratic Party that hate Israel and wanted to.
I don't know
they
if I
voted
never
against it.
interrupted anybody.
say?
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you, Bart.
Okay, so today I haven't interrupted everyone, and the proof that Brian is correct, to be very brief here, is I just got back from Europe. The exact same policies Kamala to lose are causing elections in Europe to swing the other way. In the UK, Nigel Farage
What's
is
that
about
have
to
to do
become.
with Obama being an anomaly?
Well, the answer is Obama was able to bring America together, and the Democratic Party policies for some of the activists today don't.
Did he really?
They can't. Yes, he did. He brought America together. He won
He did. So
landslide.
all those people
won
who were just hiding, those racists, no, the racists just went underground, sir.
And they voted
I mean, there's lots of Obama Trump voters.
A lot of those racists voted for that Negro and then regretted it. I'll never vote for a Negro again.
Racists.
Yes. Many racists voted for Obama.
Now, where's the paper on that, please?
Well, one thing that I
Racists
point-
voted for
Bart is one of
I
them.
mean, there's many papers on it.
Oh, I didn't know you were a racist, Bart.
Bart voted for Obama. He's racist as hell.
And I voted for Clinton.
Yeah, man. Racists be making good decisions every now and then politically. They used to make good decisions. Racists used to make healthy democratic decisions all the time.
Democratic Party was a big tent under Clinton and won landslides. You got to get back to that time, or else keep losing.
All of the racists vote for a black man. I'm going to do a study on that in a room, please. Thank you.
Say that again. I hear what you said, but
What I said was Bill Clinton brought together a huge tent, and he won live. And the people that are not copying Clinton are the reason the party keeps losing. The activists that refuse to emulate Clinton guarantee that the party will lose the next 5 presidential elections. Clinton has the only formula for winning, in my humble view.
it's a different climate. This is not 1992, but respectful. Nothing close. We are never going back.
Oh, I mean, Clinton's why we're all here right now.
Ever.
Clinton honestly created an environment for this all.
Are
No, actually,
never
Clinton was smart enough.
going
I'll let my
back.
run on the issue of deporting all
We are
illegals.
never
And because he
going
ran the-
back.
Yeah, but just let me
We
finish.
are
and then
never,
policy,
ever going back.
It's so popular in Europe and in the U.S.
Never going
that
back.
any Democrat that refuses to deport illegals,
Bart
I guarantee you
Simpson.
will lose. That's an unpopular statement to say in this room, but I have receipts and I'm done speaking.
Clinton's strategy is going to work in 2026. Like, come on, let's keep it real. Stop it.
Hey, I think Bart doesn't get listened to in white rooms, because if I was white and I got treated the way Bart does, I would be talking to y'all every day.
Also, he said he's Hispanic, yo.
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
Dude be changing up. That's that fucking, what's his real name? Diego.
Bart is a white guy. He gotta be Cuban or something.
Oh, shit. He's definitely not Cuban. Because they're a lot less watered down with their racism. And I don't even know if he's racist. Well, let's not even get into it. But all I'm saying is,
So if shit gets like really bad,
Obama won his elections because people wanted to see a change in the country, and you could equate that to why Trump won, at least the first one.
Here's my opinion on the strategy moving forward. I think the Democratic Party, all of us that vote on a regular basis, that vote consistently, it's time for us to be taken advantage of. We're not going anywhere post-MAGA. We're definitely going to vote blue no matter who. The party is at the whims of the people that sat out in the last election, particularly in the swing states. And if we don't play to them and make sure that they come out, nothing fucking matters. That's how I see it.
do you think a democratic process that allowed for a primary would have helped or hurt Kamala? Because I think it would have probably hurt her, but maybe helped the country if she just had to fight for it.
You would have won the primary?
Yeah, I think it would help.
I think she would have won the primary. I don't think there's anybody else who could have harping on that. Stepped up.
Harping on what? It was a dull and it was a low in the conversation. I just wanted to-
It's useful.
it's the real quick. after this shit gets.
You don't think she would have won a primary?
I don't know. I just think it would have been better if we had a primary.
Who would have beat her? Who would have beat Kamala?
I didn't say any. What is going on? I said I don't know.
Oh, it would have been better
if we had a primary.
I got you. Of course. I think so too. Yeah. Sure.
Can split their fates even further. You know what? I'm falling into it. Never mind.
Hold on. I think enough, Kamala.
I think Americans like to feel like they had a democratic process, and they didn't feel that way about how Kamala was chosen. And I think
that is a talking point that the conservatives, and this is I'm frustrated.
All right, forget it. I don't want to talk with you.
Yeah.
This yelling thing, and I don't want you to. I don't want to do it like this.
Like we've gotten along for like 5 minutes, and that's a record for us. So I get what you're going for, but the point is this: I think one of the biggest weaknesses of the liberals is the fact that conservatives define who the liberals are, what their talking points are, they reframe it all, and then they say the liberals think this, when the liberals have not thought this, and they spread it all over the place. They own the landscape of, describing and defining who and what the liberals are. There weren't a whole bunch of people demanding a primary 107 days before the election. That is something that a bunch of, coonish mofos with talking points came into our spaces and claimed.
Is it
There's
really
no
true?
proof or evidence to that.
Is it
And
really
even if it was true, how dumb could you be when you have 107 days until election to take time to now introduce new people who some people will fall in love with and host a primary? I mean, it's just stupid on its face, and it just really annoys the heck out of me to hear that thrown up over and over again. Do you think that the Republicans give a damn about traditions and political mores and all of that shit?
But you can't You can't do this. We gotta both agree not to do it.
Is it?
Look, I ain't talking to you, Artie. Nobody cares for you, Artie. I'm just saying what I think.
Okay.
Artie's the leader of this group. I'm the singer. I got
What
runs.
the fuck is going on?
I go up, down, I got range.
Alright, is it hard to say that Biden just should have said it out and, maybe that was the problem?
They should have
He
primaried
should not have ran. He said that he was only going for one term. That's what he should have did. I mean, if we want to, he fucked it up. If there's a blame, it has to be on him. Like, why is this hard to say?
And that bitch Karen Jill. Just want to put that out there.
Can you not?
It is what it is. I got it off my chest. It felt better. I feel much better having said it. I know Jill did this shit to us. I know Jill took
Did you get the
advantage.
blood off your chest too?
She took advantage of that decrepit man in his moment of decline
Next.
and went for
Did you
power.
guys
And ruined
did you
the
guys
country. I know
hear
Jill
what
did.
Laura Loomer, I think her name is, said about Jasmine Crockett?
Yes.
Now that is a bitch.
Okay.
That chiseled jawed. She looks like a bad guy out of fucking James Bond. What's the one with the metal teeth in James Bond? What's that motherfucker's name?
No, ma'am, I didn't hear it, ma'am.
I'm a call.
She said she was on her ghetto ass.
Okay, I can play it if you want. There's a lot of chaos going on in this room
It's on
today.
Twitter.
It's been going on for the last 72 hours.
Fucking wall.
Very, I don't know. You put the word in sentence.
It's inexcusable violence, and it just looks like she wants to be one of these, or when I say she, I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett. She wants to be like this I don't know, like this caricature, right? Like this ghetto boosang, like, hey, look at me, I'm some gangsta black bitch, and you know, I'm about to pop a cap in your ass, and you know, we're gonna fight the white man and the patriarchy, and I'm about to go get my hair did, and you know, look at my nails. Like she just talks like Sills, you know, she just doesn't know how to speak proper English. And I know that she actually does know how to speak proper English because there are people who have actually done side by side videos of when she ran for Congress originally. And she was like, yes, hi, my name is Jasmine Crockett. I grew up Catholic and I grew up in a black family. And, you know, she's like talking like normal, trying to speak like a normal person as opposed to speaking Ebonics. And like this, you know, look at it.
It's important to realize this, though. When Republicans talk like this, they're literally telling you they're intimidated by black AAV, by black voices. Like they know if you speak white, if you sound whiter, you're less dangerous. And the blacker you sound, the more dangerous and the harder it is for them to deal with you. So the argument is to remove her blackness because they're literally getting cooked by her on the mic.
That's such an absurd. I'm sorry. What a ridiculous analysis.
It's not a ridiculous analysis. Being black helps. It's culturally valuable. Sounding black is
The idea that Laura Loomer would be intimidated by the presentation of blackness.
She is.
So after she mentioned that, then she went on Twitter. Can y'all hear me?
I
could get my crockett up. I'm sorry.
I don't know why you hating on yourself. You know you got it in there.
Come on, Tucker.
Oh, you have to move him down. You have to. All right. So after that came out, she went on Twitter and she said, it hurts my heart that we have ghetto black bitches who hate America since serving in Congress. The next tweet was, ghetto, I guess I finna watch my back. God forbid Shaniqua pops a cap in my ass. You feel me? Question mark.
You know, Mel, I have a question.
It's way more than that.
Oh, you have more tweets, I just have those two.
Yeah, I have a question.
It was way.
Now, we're saying it's because of blackness, right? But my question is, you know, this kind of openly racist attack, it seems to me that it's only they're only capable of doing this with black women. So I want someone to just correct me if I'm wrong. Would she have gotten away with this if she was talking about a black politician? No. Okay, now why not?
Why wouldn't she say this about a black politician?
I didn't ask about why. I'm just saying because I'm hearing this kind of openly, proudly racist attack. Black bitch, this, that, and the third. I'm hearing it over and over again with black women who are standing up for democracy. And I'm not hearing a groundswell of pushback from anybody, to be quite honest. But I want to know, would this fly if it was done against a black male politician or advocate for the liberals?
Of course I would.
Because black something here. Get on to something.
No, we're not. You're understanding people. What are you saying?
Yeah, they call that one dude Egg Secure. Like, racism is back. It's just in vogue.
It's that Laura Loomer is racist to everybody.
I like what Dr. Particular said in the chat. She wouldn't have gotten away with offending a black man because a black woman would have come to his aid.
Thank you.
Exactly.
We're standing up for democracy. And I'm not hearing
She can say it because black men saying it as well. We heard black men saying it too.
That too, Deborah. That's also true.
This is insane. Y'all are turning a white woman's racist statement against a black woman into like a black man. Here's what you just did.
Breathe for a second. What we're talking.
On my 9th birthday, I made a mistake of reaching for a piece of bread.
Black men are literally up and down social media.
That is Black MAGAs. We're talking about her in this very room. Over and over again. About her eyelashes and how ghetto she was in this room.
How many of us here are MAGAs? You just said black men. You didn't say black MAGAs. They said black men.
I said Black MAGAs because you running your mouth so you can't hear. Because you just talk.
I'm not arguing with you.
I said Black MAGAs. I didn't say black men. I said MAGAs.
It is to get off the floor Loomer and talk about black men. Y'all see how silly that shit is?
That's just how it is.
Y'all, this is embarrassing. It really is.
MJ, this is not about black men. Okay? Because there are
particular. Made it about black men. And they all started to comment like it was wicked.
Jesus. I am asking you all to see the dynamic that it is okay to be open season in the most vile, racist way against black women who are speaking up for democracy. That is what I'm saying. So if you're feeling hit, that's on you. What I'm saying is, well, if you could just chill for a second and allow me to finish a sentence, then maybe you wouldn't have to be so defensive. What I'm saying is, if this kind of thing was said against Cory Booker or something like that on a public, national TV show or whatever, I personally believe, and I could be wrong, that even white people would stand up for against this in a groundswell that could not be taken. I believe this. And okay, so prove me wrong. Go ahead, MJ.
It's just ridiculous to think that black men listen to this and are not entirely disgusted. The first person I saw repost this thing online on my IG feed, which is basically when it first dropped, was fucking DL Hughley. And he's fucking furious. Like, there's so many. I don't know if you don't see the black men because you don't follow the black men, or you don't care to see what their opinions are. But it's disgusting to us. What are you saying? I don't understand where you're coming from with this shit. I really don't.
Listening, because I didn't say black men are the only people involved. What I said was the taste, or I should say the distaste, for this kind of behavior against black female advocates for democracy. Please listen to what I'm saying. It is not as high as it with any other demographic in the United States, in my humble opinion. I didn't say that black men ain't shit. What I said is the groundswell would be different if it was any other demographic doing this. If Pete Buttigieg was attacked according to his sexuality in using gay slurs and all that shit, and I'm not just talking about some rando on the internet, I'm talking about on news medias and all this kind of stuff, this would be different. I don't see people getting the Jasmine Crockett treatment, including black male politicians. I don't see it. I'm done.
I do agree with Sister that there is a particularly nasty ire directed towards black women electeds. That black women electeds, they now represent the racist imagination, like all of the failures of the welfare state and the DEI regime and failed democratic party politics and cultural Marxism. I agree.
I happen to think that there's a difference in mindset between a black man and a black MAGA male. And I know specifically that I heard black MAGAs calling her ghetto.
Rabbonum Shalom!
Anthony.
I have a room open right now called
Republicans,
saying it, but they
liberals, and Democrats. And we're listening to black women talk shit about black maggots.
not black men.
They're in the Matrix, though. You want me to start your room out with 60 seconds of Tanya?
I mean, there are
Pick a number 1 through 50.
But we don't really have to. I mean,
7?
it doesn't have to be a horrible loss. I think it was just a.
Okay, this is your number 7 from the Alter Rebbe. Take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. This is called using the body for good. Physical desire is necessarily selfish, seeing the body as an end in itself, rather than a means of divine service. Yet even physical desire contains a spark of holiness. And because this is so, physical desire, while rarely self-transcending, can sometimes be steeped in compassion and goodness. For example, eating a meal of fat beef and spiced wine is a neutral act, but if done to make your mind more receptive to the teachings of Torah or to honor the Sabbath and festivals, your intention to serve God elevates the act and all involved in it in its service to God, because everything is a part of God. Everything can be used in the service of godliness. The Talmudic sage Rava claimed that drinking wine made him more receptive to discovering the inner meanings of Torah.
Love it. Thank you, John.
Oh wait, it's not finished. The same can be said of humor. If a joke is told to sharpen the mind and uplift the heart, it is in service to God. This is what is meant when we say an action is permitted. It is permitted because it releases the self from the bonds of selfishness. Rava was said to punctuate his Torah lessons with humor. Mutar, permitted or released, a rabbinic category of permitted actions, because mutar means both permitted and released. The Alter Rebbe sees the second meaning as the rationale behind the first. Permitted, released. The in-betweener is not an ascetic. The pleasures of the body are not denied to you. On the contrary, they are there for you to hollow. For example, if eating and drinking are done solely to please the self, their full potential is not realized. When you eat and drink to sustain your life so that you can be of service to God and others, then the act of eating and drinking is hallowed. This is why permitted actions are called mutar, those deeds that release the narrow self into the greater reality of God and godliness. They are not simply permitted, but have the potential to unchain you from the constrictive illusion that you and the world you inhabit are separated from God and the universe as a whole. Amen.
Amen. Did you really call the FBI?
Who was that?
He's just a white man on Instagram. I think that's Nick Fuentes. Is it?
No.
Is it Nick Fuentes?
No.
Okay.
No.
You can get angry at me if you want. You can pretend.
Yeah. He does have some YouTube. He has a YouTube. I'll put the link in the chat.
I mean, it can be both, right?
That she's both a grifter and grieving widow?
Yeah, I mean, Erica, like, there's something about that kind of evangelicalism that is very familiar to me. There is a performance aspect of it. And so the way that because, Erica is crazy conservative. She has multiple degrees from Liberty University. I think that she believes, in her mind, that this performance of carrying on and running with the torch, right, and not letting Charlie's work die, that's a part of the work that God has called her to do. But there's something inherently exploitative in that, right? Inherently opportunistic. I don't think that she can separate the exploitation and the grifting from the grieving.
Opportunistic for the Lord.
I mean, that's a lot of evangelicalism, I'm not gonna lie. Especially the white evangelicals.
So I have some confirmed, well-documented connections. Erica Kirk, before her role at Turning Point USA, competed in Miss Arizona USA in 2012, then went on to compete in Miss USA. At the time, Miss USA was part of the Miss Universe organization, which Donald Trump co-owned. This is often cited as one of her earliest connections to the organizations Trump was involved in. Just want to throw that out.
But that is a plus for her base, though. And so
Over and over again, with black women who are standing.
How, that looks to people who have sense. For MAGA, it's actually good that makes her qualified in some way to lead. I know what I'm saying sounds crazy, but I've heard them say this quite a few times over the course of this past week. If you really think about it, look at, let's just put it this way, a good number of the people who are being installed as leaders really were like reality TV people. These were people who were in news. They are people who were in social media. These are people who are very good at reading from a script and saying what they have to say. And so I personally believe that they are there to just be allocutors and not governors in any sense. They are there to be told what to say and to say it in an effective manner. And she would be very good at that. And so even though we know that she, what she is and how she is, we have to remember what her task is going to be. So instead of fighting what she says, we should discredit the liar. And what do I mean by that? We need to start using their own sexism against her. And I know that's dirty, and I know that's against a whole lot of people's morals, but they have no problem doing the same in different ways to the left. So if women are supposed to be in the home, if they're supposed to be submissive, if they're not supposed to lead men, then we need to be bringing that up to their base who actually believes that shit. But if we treat her with the respect and dignity that pretty much everybody deserves, I hate to say it, but, we're just going to end up, having a new Corazon Aquino for the fascists in the USA. She's going to put on that black veil of mourning, and she's going to wrap it around our faces and choke us with it if we don't actually take the gloves off and go after that woman. I'm just gonna go sign. That's all. Because I don't fucking like these people. These white fake Christian evangelicals are the biggest threat to every marginalized population in America and the entire world. Full stop. That's it. They are violent, destructive, they're liars, they're anti-democracy, they're fascist, authoritarians, every single one of them. And I suppose a few are good people.
Yeah, they'll settle for nothing less than domination, and that's their worldview and their most deeply held belief, right, is that Christ should be the head of everything, and that anything that is not under the dominion of Christ, as they define him, is, Babylon, is evil, is wicked, and that it's God's will that he should rule over everything. And that's why they're here on earth, is to make sure that that happens. Like, I like what Ron Howard said. He said, I'm not against prayer in school, and anyone is free to pray in school anytime they like. I'm against compulsory prayer. It's not just that they want to pray a particular way, they want to force everyone else to do it. So there's no compromising with them, and that doesn't come from us, that comes from their side, right? What bond can lightness have with dark? That's their belief system.
So the hashtag is crusades.
I just came up here because I gotta get back to work real quick, but I did want to ask, did you guys happen to cover the Joy Reid podcast where she talked about these people in gaslighting, and the fact that they're just miserable people that just don't like each other. They won the House, they won the Senate, they won the lower house. They're winning these bills where they're literally just picking people up and deporting them, and they're still majorly unhappy. I mean, to the gross point, like you guys had Matt Coolin here, and it's funny because I called this shit out several times. These people don't like each other. They want to come to the cookout, and they can't. Because they want them to force them, to your point, Billy, they want to force their little, their Christian beliefs down our fucking throat. But at the end of the day, because, we don't accept it, they're unhappy. I remember when after Trump got booted out of the White House the first time, there was a report by New York Post, right? Or no, it was an article where they were talking about MAGA couldn't get a date because they're not getting laid. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen that shit before. You have to hide. They had to create their own little dating app so they can date each other. MAGA is not about. They want to force their thing, but they want to come to the cookout. But then at the same time, they can't. And we got you guys played Laura Loomer. Like, let's be very clear here about a woman who performed sexual acts in front of children at a children's goddamn fucking theater hall. These people aren't serious. These aren't serious people. Sister, you brought up the fact that all these people are just crisis actors, and that's it. They're there you're at 100%. They're there just to put up a role. Don't believe me? Look at the Kash Patel interview. That shit was a joke. This man had no idea. He didn't even know what day it was. He used a private jet to go fly to a fucking game, and then it's like, oh, the people gave it to me. You look stupid as fuck, and you look likely confused. But other than that, love the room. Hey, guys.
Okay, I have another video to play. Hi, my name is Lex. I'm a nurse. I want to provide a little bit of light as to what is about to go down today regarding Tylenol and autism. Today, RFK Jr. and Trump are set to announce that Tylenol causes autism. There is science that actually proves this. That should shock nobody. They are also likely going to tell you that leucovorin, folinic acid, is the cure. Now, what you need to pay attention to is the fact that iHerb, a company owned by Dr. Oz, sells leucovorin. Okay? Dr. Oz is also now the head of the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services, the CMS. All the corruption, this is the leucovorin is folinic acid. It's a form of folate, that's why folates are similar. And unlike folate, folinic acid has a really easy time crossing the blood-brain barrier, meaning going from the bloodstream and into the brain. Now, is there science linking leucovorin and autism? Kind of. Generally speaking, people will cite one of 4 randomized control trials, all of which had varying levels of effectiveness. They had different outcomes, and they had completely different ways of measuring those outcomes. In one case, efficacy was completely reliant on one specific genetic variant in the participant. Needless to say, the science is inconclusive and way more studies need to be done. And it is definitely not definitive enough for the president to be peddling his buddy's supplement company, because that's what's happening. I just...
Is it just me or she got crazier eyes than that itself? Something smell mad fishy.
I'm still over here pissed off about what that bitch said about Jasmine Crockett. Like, that shit got me tight. I don't know about nobody else, but it's like,
Brooklyn. Were you in Brooklyn?
yes, I'm done because I'm so angry right now.
Yeah, because, you know, it wasn't that long ago when a whole lot of people who call themselves liberal were calling for Jasmine Crockett's head for the Hot Wheels comment. You remember that? Where are those people now?
I will need it back. Yeah, probably 2, I'm guessing.
Can I make a recommendation for everybody? I made this recommendation before we got started with the election. Racists are outside now. We saw that with Charlottesville on Donald Trump's first go round, and just the amount of racially motivated crimes. There was a black man that was hung in New York this past week off an overpass or whatever, another like suicide or whatever. Like, sound like to say that I would ask you, because y'all grown, but I would ask you to watch how you react and watch your own health, how you react to this. Laura Loomer's comments are made to be incendiary. They're made to get Brooklyn just like she's got. They're made to get you shook. They're made to get you outside. They're made to get you go beat a white woman's ass or whatever. And they're made to put your ass in jail. So please, like, just understand that, like, it's the whole thing about, like, the sticks and stones thing when we're little. Like, this shit is just words. So you need to, like, really, everybody needs to try to get to that, because they're gonna do more. We're just getting started with this shit. Like, so just, I'm saying, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Just understand that.
I don't be angry though. Like, I could be angry about something that somebody said that's, you know what I'm saying? I don't.
You're right, Brooklyn. You're right. I'm not saying that you can't, but like, sister just came on here earlier. I got a daughter that deals with migraine. Like, when you let yourself get stressed and get your blood pressure up and all this stuff over stuff, they want you to be fucked up. They want you to, like, to not be able to sleep.
Literally had to have a woosah moment in this fucking administration. Like, you have pockets of happiness, but at the end of the day, when reality hits you, for real, like, it's stressful. This shit it's stressful. I don't know if it's meant to be this way or whatever the case may be, but the only way for you to not be stressed out about it is to not think about it, and it's hard to not think about it when it's in your fucking face. Like, I literally turn myself away from everything and go silent for me to be in peace all the time.
Exactly, that's exactly what you need to do. You need to unplug sometimes, like, you don't need to unplug with that. I'm just you're trying to like watch your health, definitely gotta unplug from Clubhouse, gotta stay off social media. Like, don't watch this shit because it literally. Think about it, this motherfucker's only been in office for like what, like 8 months now or whatever. Like, and it's been like every damn day. Like, this is something different every. This has felt like 2 years, and it's literally we're not. They're just getting warm because, like they say, after they get done with Project 2025, where somebody throws out some percentage that they're through with that, then they're going to this Esther Project shit or whatever. It's like I'm just saying we're just getting started. So this shit was like now they've had the Charlie Kirk thing. They have their martyr for free speech. And if anybody thinks that dude that they got the picture of that like killed him at the five tournament, if anybody thinks that's the murder, then I mean I got like a bridge and motherfucking I don't know. Fucking Pacoya to say you understand that's just some bullshit. The man, his father got $1 million for turning him in, so he got the reward money. That's some bullshit. People have talked about the breakdown of the rifle. We all saw a person running across the roof. There was no rifle to be seen. Then they find this perfectly like wrapped rifle in the woods, and they find some Jane Austen written text or whatever about the love of his life and this. I mean. This is just the way America works. This shit is casual. Charlie Kirk has been made a martyr. They got their martyr now. Look at that Horst Wessel dude that they talk about in the Nazi era. This is just, it's what it is. Erica Kirk, it's just a show. It's just, the whole shit's a show. And with this shit with Tylenol and autism, I know it's a fucking million thing. And I apologize. Follow the money. Trump doesn't do anything unless there's a check attached to the end of it. Something to enrich his family or his name. He doesn't give a shit about people at all. I think we all know that. But when people talk about like, oh, they're coming up with this thing on autism and like this, yeah, duh, he wouldn't have done it if it wasn't a check for him. He literally would have just let people die and be autistic and do what the fuck ever he wants to. He doesn't do anything unless it's something that's enriching. Just understand how the game is being played. That's what I'm saying. But as far as with the racism shit, please try to control yourself, or if you need to get away. I'm saying this to anybody. You just gotta control because they are gonna do more stuff. And literally, like I say, we got 3 more years of this shit left to go. So just try to find your balance.
The other nations rally behind that nation and to defend it against the aggressor. So this would pull the United. This has nothing to do with funding and 2%. That's a whole different discussion. So I just want to make sure. So when I said that Donald Trump said it, y'all quickly agreed. But now, if you know the ramifications will be a ground war, you're hesitant. Do y'all disagree with everything what Trump said without that?
So MAGA, I mean, so go. Just because, so we, when it comes to NATO, we commit some of our, our men and women to that organization. True. But they still,
Listen to the organization.
For example, Poland just shot down some Russian drones, but that was Poland doing that. America didn't shoot down those Russian drones. Poland did it. Now, if Russia would have responded, and then there's a flat-out war between Poland and Russia, yes, then we will back them up as allies, whether it's shipping weapons to them, giving them counseling, giving them training, all of that stuff. But that doesn't always mean we have to commit troops to a ground war with Russia. Support comes in all different types of shapes and forms. It don't always mean committing troops.
So, well, actually, you just said you didn't know what Article 5 was, and now you're telling me what's in Article 5.
Well, you said earlier that Article 5 says if you attack one, you attack all. Well, we could support.
So you would risk a larger war whether we go in it with men to begin, say like World War II, a larger European war, you would, if Romania shot the plane down.
Bro, if there's a justification for us getting involved in the war, so be it.
I thought you liked, I'm sorry, I thought you liked Trump DJ Fridays because he would not get us into war. Am I mistaken?
Yes, he's not the warmonger like the last gang of Republicans have been. Of course not.
Right.
He's not a neocon. He's not a globalist.
Changed it to the Department of War.
He changed it back to the Department.
He wants to fancy himself as a tough guy war type of guy.
Since you know anything. Wait. How long has it been the Department of Defense? No, because you just said he changed it to the Department of War. That was always the name of it.
But that's irrelevant to the point that he...
Well, why'd you bring it up then if it's irrelevant? You just said that.
No, hold on.
You just said he changed it to the Department of War, and I told you that was always the name of it. They changed it to the Department of Defense because it was more of a PR stunt when they did that. I can even tell you the person who recommended doing it.
You're repeating yourself. I don't care.
So don't bring it up then. See, you like to bring up shit that you don't know nothing about, and when people push back, then you try to act like, oh, what are you talking about? I don't care about that. But you the one who brought it up. This is your third time on the stage bringing up something.
Hey, to be fair, the password, Trump has changed. He's changed. Go ahead, password. Go ahead. Missing some elephant-sized problem with your comprehension. I'm not saying I don't care about the Department of War thing. What I'm saying I don't care about is the fact that the length of time that it was called the Department of Defense or whatever.
For years. Porsche is an amazing car. Amazing.
You're saying, well, he's not really that of a war-loving president, not like the other ones. He literally changed the defense product to the Department. He literally had videos where he's like mocking and talking like violently attacking other nations. And like being like fun and cool and like America like optionally about it. That's the point. I'm not talking. I wasn't saying the thing I brought up is irrelevant.
So why did you bring it up then?
This slow.
I want to pick your brain. Why did you bring that up? Why did you bring that up?
Just explained it. What I'm saying to you is that you said so 2 plus 2 equals 4.
What does math have to do with what we're talking about?
Okay, never mind. We can't agree on that. Never mind. So what I'm
Wait.
saying.
Let's unpack this. Wait. Why did you just bring a math equation into this argument?
Yeah,
Let's unpack this.
It's called being facetious, bro. It's not something that I'm doing.
But why do you need to do that? Like, do you think that helps you win your argument?
No, I don't.
How often do you beat your girlfriend?
Yeah, that's the thing that has never happened in my life. Are you ready to get back to it?
Oh, you never had a girlfriend.
No, that's not what those words mean. Words seem to be really difficult for you.
Wait, actually define what a word actually is.
Can I finish what I'm saying? No, I won't do that.
What year, what decade, what century did the word get invented?
Yes, I'm not gonna do that. What I am gonna do is answer the first thing. So yeah, I brought up the Department of War because you were positing him as being somebody that is not a warmongering monster. That's why I brought that up.
Well, the Department of War can be a deterrent. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're about
But it's not.
That could be a
Deterrent.
deterrent. You know how, like for example,
it's like as a program to.
you know why Trump is sending illegals to
Actually, if you're saying
over Africa and all around the world?
It's valuable right now.
He's doing that as a deterrent to deter other illegals from coming to the country, and it's actually working.
That's why the debt prices are going up.
Hey, so Pass, no, I can just fuck with you, Pass, but for real, Pass, you gotta understand about $6 leadership. You know, America has things like places like France. They're more diplomatic, right? So when you're in a nation with stick power, what happens is they will posture these sticks as a deterrent. So he's pretty much letting the world know that if y'all want to go to war, we'll take you to war. And I'm going to name this department the War Department to let you know that we're war ready. Because sometimes that posturing can be a very big deterrent to actually going to war.
And what history says?
They do it with nukes all the time. Don't no country want to use nukes.
What history says?
They posture these nukes to let the other country with nukes let them know that if you nuke us, we're going to nuke you 10 times.
What?
Yeah, we'll fuck the world up, but so be it. You started it.
First of all, that's very, very funny. Second of all, he's talking about using the Department of War like against an immigrant. Like he's like, we're gonna show them why it's called, the Department of War.
So he did that for immigrants?
So he's a shit monster. He's a warmongering person.
So he changed the
what immigrants?
Wait. He changed the Defense Department to the Department of War for immigrants.
What immigrants did he change it against? That's not what I said.
You literally just said that.
No, I did not literally.
Maybe I misheard you.
Words are so difficult for you. Yes.
What did you say? Maybe I misheard you.
What I'm referring to is like what I think is a tweet or something like that. One of them videos that he put on social media. It came from like the White House. It said something along the lines of, "We'll show them why we changed it to the Department of War." I'm slipping my mind slightly, but that.
So Matt,
it negates. No, shut up for a second. It negates your. No, shut the fuck up for a second. It completely negates your concept of him being this anti-war person. That's what I'm talking about. Like the whole point.
He just said they changed the War Department or the War Department for the immigrants.
No, that is not what I fucking said. That is absolutely not what I said. Why are words so difficult for you? They're extremely difficult. Very basic concept. I speak so precisely, and I pick my words very carefully. I absolutely did not say what you just said. I didn't even say something that was even close to that. I hope the replays is on so that niggas can see that that's absolutely not what I said. It is just speaking to a severe lack of comprehension on your on your side. It's not what I said. I did not say that he changed the Department of Defense for immigrants. I never said that. What I said, and I'm referring to some kind of social media post, and I'm even saying that the exact details of it are slipping my mind right now, but I'm quite certain that there is some post social media where the White House posted something, and I think that they're even talking about immigrants, and he said, they don't see why it's called the Department of War. That doesn't mean that they changed it to the Department of War for immigrants. It just means that they are going to enact war-like tactics on illegal immigrants and people that support them. How is this so confusing for you? It's really easy to see how people like y'all ended up thinking that Trump was like the better option because there's just a severe lack of critical thinking. That's why you niggas seen Kamala Harris and Trump, and somehow, and I hate Kamala Harris, I'm not a fan of her. She very obviously was the better option. It's insane to think otherwise. You have to be a severely, unbelievably stupid or evil person to think otherwise.
Why do you hate Kamala Harris?
This shows it. I'm from Oakland, California, and I
have a lot of familiarity with her,
and I do not like how friendly she has been with like SFPD, with Oakland PD, her refusal to hold police officers accountable. It's actually the shit that people talk about in the media, because I know that those things are more nuanced, like the whole thing about like cannabis and things like that. She actually has done some progressive things in that department that a lot of people don't talk about. Like she actually did spearhead a program that was dedicated to rehabilitation and helping people who had been arrested for cannabis crimes and things like that. It's not that. It's actually her refusal to hold police accountable for things that happened out here in the Bay Area that were egregious cases of racial profiling, of harassment, of police brutality that was targeted, people that were murdered, people that were beaten, and her refusal to hold them accountable because she was very close and friendly with the police out here. Like they call her the top cop, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the truth. So yeah, there's plenty of reasons I don't fuck with her. I don't fuck with her stance on Gaza. I don't fuck with a lot of things about her. But if I don't fuck with her for her stance on Gaza, then I'm absolutely not fucking with the dude who is like sucking Netanyahu's dick, who literally is talking about flattening Gaza and like moving out of the. He's literally talking about ethnic cleansing. So yeah, I that's the thing about like presidents and leadership is it actually is unfortunately the lesser of two evils. And if anybody on this planet thought that Trump was the lesser of two evils, they're either an evil person who does not care about humanity, or they're a severely stupid person who is gullible enough to actually believe the things that Trump said.
Well, it was only like 80 million Americans, so it wasn't that many. It was like only 80 million. Really nice. Really 90 million.
Yeah, and there's a huge problem with education in this country. Would you agree?
10 other million.
You agree that there's a huge problem with education in this country, right?
Yeah, 10 other million for the Democrats didn't come out, so actually 90 million people agreed with Donald Trump on that. So I don't. That's stupid math. They say the numbers don't lie.
What does that have to do with what I said?
They say the numbers don't lie.
Numbers have context.
What does that have to do with what I just said, though? How does that relate to what I said?
They're not gonna be able to refute nothing you said, password. They're not gonna be able to refute nothing you said because everything he said is on par with what happened in the election. Even his honesty about his views on Kamala Harris. Like he could have came out and said that he loved Kamala. Nah, his views was honest on that, but he understood that hey, in a cycle like this is what we're getting. Unfortunately, hey, I'm not sure what you guys' political views were prior to 2016, but we know MAGA didn't exist. So I'm gonna believe that the propaganda wave of MAGA really worked on you guys. That's all I can assume. Like a lot of black conservatives on this app claim that they were Democrats at one point and then say that the Democratic Party left them type shit. And I'm starting not to believe that. I'm starting to believe that these were politically ignorant people from the beginning. And once somebody like Trump came around who could spew some of the rhetoric that they could get behind, like there's somebody in the chat that said Trump is running America in a masculine way. Like what the fuck do that mean?
That means a lot. And if you don't
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
You don't understand that.
I understand what masculinity is. I understand what masculinity means, but he's not doing a good job.
He's not running America like a beta male.
Bro, what the fuck does that mean?
Like, if you look at Joe Biden,
He's a cut to Russia. He's a cut to Israel. He's a cut to Russia.
He absolutely is running the country like a beta male. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a cut to Russia. He's a cut to Israel.
Hold on, Rob. He's bending over for everybody, bro. You over here sucking on Netanyahu's dick, bro.
Hold on, hey Rob, but seriously, hold on, but Rob, during the campaign, right? During Congressman Biden's campaign, I swear to God, bro, Harris's campaign, I swear to God, bro, every male that spoke at her rallies, every male that showed up for her was a gay male, bro. Literally, every last one of them.
That's just not true, but if that's all you saw, I'm not gonna tell you what you saw. It's wrong.
I'm gonna tell you what, and then what?
That's because y'all support it, man. Y'all support that shit.
Well, what's the
It ain't got nothing to do with me supporting. It ain't got nothing to do with me supporting what two people doing their bed. I don't give a fuck what two people doing their bed. I'm supporting certain policy that affects people like me. That's what I'm supporting. It ain't got nothing to do with supporting the LGBT community. And for the record, I ain't got no issue with them. They deserve human rights.
No,
I ain't tripping about that.
Yeah,
But the fact that y'all, here's the thing. Let me say this real quick. Kamala pivoted. This is the crazy thing. Kamala pivoted from the trans conversation. There's an interview that went out in like maybe June, May of 2024 where they asked her about that, and she politicianed the question. Man, it was the Republicans running the motherfucking me ads on Sunday football, making y'all believe that motherfucking transgender, who 1% of the population, who the bulk of us don't even motherfucking see, are somehow about to have our kids, like taking our kids out the bathroom. I'm a father of two girls.
And that's a whole nother issue. The fact that that's such a small percentage of the population, but yet seem like they had the largest voice in when it comes
What
to
voice did they have? Bro,
That's kind of like
what did they have?
That's kind of like you don't represent a lot of black men, but you yell the loudest.
Because
What did they have?
you cannot ignore the fact that for the last 8 years, from TV, everything revolves around that community, bro.
not in general.
Listen,
Nigga, what are you talking about?
Bro, when it came to the Democrats, you would thought that was just literally the LGBT party.
No, that's your perception of it, and that's your perception of it, and you can't understand anything beyond that. That's the problem. I'm not gonna listen because you've been talking. This is a dialogue as I understood it. So your perception of the party is that, and that's fundamentally your problem. That's fundamentally Notorious's problem, and a number of other of you minority Negroes who think that that's the basis of the Democratic Party. That's the problem.
With a landslide. Trump said Kamala Harris is for them, they, I'm for you.
That's just good marketing, which is not. That's good marketing, but that works on people without an education like you. But that doesn't work on smart people.
You got landslided by a old 70-year plus.
That is true.
Alleged white racist.
I don't know about landslided, but
you got landslided.
But you also got landslided. The difference is you don't know that you're involved in that number too. But that's beside the point. But she did lose. We have to But the bottom line is you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to your perception of the Democratic Party, because that's where you're that's how you've been influenced. And it's very easy. That was the purpose of it. You fell for the banana in the tailpipe. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. It influences people who can't think for themselves. You are in that number.
You fell on the banana. Listen.
Okay, but I mean that's not even funny and stupid. But I mean I'm just saying the point of that marketing was, and we have to admit it was accurate. I mean it was useful. It was actually useful that what they intended for it to do, it actually did.
We bring in masculinity in every factor back to this country.
How does it manifest itself, Fridays? Can you show it?
Quinn, you can no longer let.
No, I'm asking you a question in earnest. What does bringing masculinity back to America look like?
You can no longer
look like excellence.
For the
Nigga, do you think you're masculine, Fridays?
There's no more training reading hour with our kids.
That's not true.
That's not true. We ain't doing none of that lascivious legislation that y'all love. Listen, y'all would no longer be grooming our kids anymore. We're shutting down pedophilic rings and all of that. All that sick shit that y'all be on. All that national grooming that y'all been on for the last decade. We've had enough of that, bro.
If I was standing next to you Friday,
trainings are not reading books to our kids anymore. We're not doing that no more, bro. We're not doing that no more.
Here's a clue, Fridays.
That wasn't happening. Y'all are passing over our women's sports.
What is going on?
Real shit no more.
That wasn't happening in abundance before Fridays.
California who just broke all the.
But where people want it to happen, it's happening. That's the point. That's the point.
You know what's crazy? I'm more feminist than most of y'all.
Will you stop talking?
I'm more feminist than a lot of y'all. I want to protect women.
I would agree with that. You're definitely more feminist than most of them.
You're more feminine. You're more feminine. You have more fat on your body.
I want to protect women ages.
You have childbearing hips. You have childbearing hips, my man. That doesn't make you a feminist.
Hey, I want to protect. I
definitely got more estrogen.
Yeah, man, this nigga
There's no way a biological
he got ass.
He just broke all the different records in California. Y'all
said a man had ass, bro. What the fuck?
He was being facetious, bro.
No, hey, Armenians, this is how sick these people are, bro. And then, look, I swear to God,
I don't know if y'all really believe this or if you're actually just trolling. Like, if you just, I really don't ever know.
Niggas a little bit come ahead.
It's gotta be, man. It's scary both ways.
I was about this the other day, bro. I understand why people in that.
You were thinking the other day? We gotta hear this.
I understand why people in y'all community hate Trump. I truly understand that. Like
in our community, what is our community, Friday?
Most of the smoke that Trump has had, as far as
gotcha. So you don't answer the question. What is our community? What is our community?
Your LGBT community. I understand why y'all hate Trump, because he has put a lot of
neither past nor I are part of the LGBT.
Hey, he has put a lot of pressure.
Never finished.
I get it.
You get what?
I get get why y'all got so much.
How
he has a lot of smoke for y'all. I get.
How does I would
According to the according to the Republican National Convention of Philadelphia, they shut down a goddamn gay website. All them folks.
Go do your research on that, Rob. Do your research. But I know you ain't gonna do it because you love it. You know what I'm saying? You love it.
What's the
research?
research?
Go do your research on it.
What's the research?
I guarantee you it's not what you think it is.
What's the research? I know there's a lot of closet ass, gay ass white men.
Go ahead, go do the research.
There's Republicans like Lindsey Graham.
What he's going to tell you, Rob, is that there were some young white kids who intentionally tried to shut it down. That's the story that's been stated. Notorious doesn't really
Probably just a fake in general. Probably just a fake.
It's not.
It's not a fake story.
Not a fake
Post it in the chat. And let's take a look at it. Post it in the chat.
You post it, but you don't want to claim that you got the source. You don't want to claim
you because you don't support any of your arguments.
I think you guys are trying to convince yourself. You're not convincing me.
We're not trying to. There is no convincing people like you.
I don't have to convince myself. You people are the ones who are obsessed with gay people. For y'all not to be punks. For y'all not to be punks. Y'all surely